If you are like me and you didn't watch the Super Bowl this year, you might have asked yourself, what is this Apex Legends game that all the people are playing right now? If you want to find out what this game is about, where it came from and why it is no problem that you didn't heard of it until now, then just keep on watching this video because I'm gonna try to answer all those questions as good as I can. How you might have already guessed, Apex Legends were announced at the Super Bowl this year. They played an ad for this game and the game were basically available right after the advertisement were ended. The game were not announced before and were kept a secret for all the time before, while they had numerous streamers and gamers already play and beta testing this game. So the game already releases in a quite finished state, and I gotta admit that I didn't found any bugs in the time I played it right now. The game is a battle royale game, and even though that the market might be quite over exaggerated with that, I think the game tries to do a lot of things different and really gives a lot of fresh air into the battle royale genre. In my opinion, this game wants to have you play as a team even more than all the other battle royale games out of there. There are a lot of different mechanics that you won't find in any other BR game, and the movement in the game is very fluent, maybe comparable to the Blackout 4 battle royale. The game were made by the Titanfall developers, and you can definitely feel that with the movement and gunplay. Even though that your bullets will have physical behavior like in almost every other BR game, so you will have bullet drop and things like that. The game is free to play on consoles and PC and is only monetized through the in-game shop that gives you in-game cosmetics and other stuff. The in-game shop is already quite decked out, but I personally don't have too much of a problem with it, because until now they are really just cosmetic items that don't give you an advantage in the game, and you can get most of them by normal gameplay, even though that means that you gotta put a lot of hours into this game. That's also not the nicest thing, but keeping in mind that this is a free-to-play game, I think that's totally excusable. Let's talk about the game and see what it tries to do different than other BR games. Apex Legends is a pure team game, so you cannot go for solo BRs like you can do in other games. Just right now you're only able to drop in a group of 3 people, and if you're alone you will be matchmaked with 2 random people. I didn't have too much of a problem with it because I enjoy the team game aspects of battle royales quite a bit, and given that they implement a few mechanics that will let you play as a team a little bit more, I really enjoyed that. So as a first very obvious change to other BR games, you will not drop alone out of the starting airplane, and rather as a team and following the one that leads the drop. You can either make suggestions on the map or just drop completely alone if you feel like it, since there's always an option for that too. Also, when you glide down with your team, you can basically clink out at any moment and go your own path if you feel like it. At the start of the game of course doesn't really differ from other VR games. You will just try to go around the areas and get good loot. The colors of the items are basically in an RPG system. So you have white items that are quite common, you have blue items that are rare, and you have purple epic items that are really good. Also heard about orange legendary weapons, even though that I didn't saw them myself now. But if you can get your hands on one of those guys, I bet you have a really good time with it. You can find 3 different types of armor in this game, the white, blue and purple one, with the white one giving you 2 bars of armor, with the blue one giving you 3 bars and the purple one giving you 4 bars. If you lose shield energy, you can still replenish it with shield generators that lay around the map. You can pick up quite a few of those and regenerate a massive amount of your shield if you need in battle. So it never really makes sense to change better against lower armor, because you can always repair your better armor if you find a shield generator on the map. I can't rate the gunplay of the game now all too much, although I think it feels really good and fluent. But I honestly didn't try out the different weapon types all too much right now and will rather not step too far out of the window here. I think it's very comparable to Titanfall or Titanfall 2 if you played one of those, even though that of course you have no titans in this game. With holding the spacebar and running up to a wall, you will basically climb that wall up very high. That opens up the map quite a bit, not talking about the zip lines that are going all around the map that you can just use to go quickly from one point to another. Also, you can ping in this game quite easily, what will make it a lot easier to communicate with teammates that don't have a microphone. This will make the game a lot more casual friendly than the other VR games that are around right now, because you will not only need to communicate over compass numbers, but can also now easily ping the position that you are looking at. If a player of your squad goes down, you can just revive him normally like in other games, but if he also completely dies, you can pick up this emblem and try to revive him at one of the revive stations. But be aware that when your teammate drops, he will have no loot and you will need to be ready for that. But having the teammate back is already worth a lot, and I think a really interesting implementation into such an VR game. I think it always felt quite bad when a teammate of you died in the early game and needed to watch the whole game, even though your whole squad were doing quite good. With this game you're given another opportunity there, and I think that's a really cool implementation. You will not be playing as normal persons and rather as one of the legends. Every one of your team needs to pick a different character with different abilities that lets them act as tank, healer or even assassin. Those abilities let every fight feel quite unique because every squad you will be going against have usually different legends. I think that's also a quite cool implementation and gives the game a little bit more depth than the other VR games. So my conclusion would definitely be, if you like VR games and generally shooter games, this is definitely a game to try out. It is free to play, so you really have nothing to lose, and who knows, you may have a good time with it. It is of course a game that goes quite fast and can be confusing a little bit at the start, but if you like those types of games and you get the hang of it, I bet you will enjoy it. Even though that some people might say that the game basically just casual down VR games, I personally don't think that always has to be a bad thing, and I feel like the gunplay of this game usually lets the better player win. With that, I want to wish you all a great day. Maybe subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video or maybe want to see more of them. Have a great day everyone, and bye bye!